Now we're cooking. It's the coach. This is the 2019 season on EA Sports. Coming up, running back Dalvin Cook. He's back and coming off a big game a weekend ago, as it'll be the Philadelphia Eagles taking on the Minnesota Vikings. With that, we send you up to US Bank Stadium in Minneapolis, standing by our commentators, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Now we find ourselves at the stadium that played host to Super Bowl 52, the wondrous US Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Minnesota Vikings. Hi again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And Charles, you look at this Vikings ball club. They come into this one knowing it's been a while since tasting victory. They've dropped 4 in a row.
Can they remember what it was like to win a game? In these types of situations, you're looking for someone to inspire you, and it doesn't have to be one of your best players either.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Eagles, it's late in the year. We all know it. We've seen the calendar for these guys. Their bodies could probably use a break, but they have to push on.
And they're really not as worried about that as maybe we think. They know they've got the entire...
Three-quarters of the NFL season are complete. What lurks in our final month? We're underway in Week 14. This fielded at the 2. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. So now here comes the Eagles offense as they get ready to take over. As we get a peek at the number 2 overall pick from the 2016 draft, standing at 6'5", Carson Wentz.
He had the numbers of a game last week that if you win, you talk about him being a gritty guy, managing the game, getting it done. But they lost. So obviously 2 interceptions, 1 touchdown pass, that's not going to be good enough. Got to get that changed around.
Now it's the Boise State alum, Jay Ajayi. And he'll work his way across the 30 to the 32. There are the numbers last week for Jay Ajayi. 20 carries, 75 yards.
And we all know he had a big workload last week, so I'm eager to see if they decide to back him off a little bit. Personally, I hand it to him 20-plus times again. When a running back's locked in like he is, I want him to keep touching the football.
Play action. Now Wentz. He's going to look deep down the field. And nearly an interception here on their opening drive. But instead, 3rd down. And the tight end, Zach Ertz, is key in this offense as we get a look at the starters.
Comes out of the factory known as Stanford, which keeps putting out tight ends. Zach Ertz, one of the better ones we've seen in recent years.
3rd play of this opening drive as they're looking at a 3rd and 3. Now it's Ajayi. No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively. And it likely forces a punt situation on 4th. Strong start by this defense. 3rd and short. They go with a run. Stonewalled for no gain.
I played for a guy who always talked about setting tones and meeting force with force. That felt like it on that play, didn't it? And they met it in a big way and won. What a great job by the defense.
So on 4th down, on is the punter, Pat O'Donnell, to kick it away. Jamal Agnew is deep to return it. A big kick, 50 yards that time with a return of 4. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. So here's the Viking offense making their way out. Commanding the offense will be Lamar Jackson, the electric quarterback out of the University of Louisville.
Coming off of a loss their last time out, I think he's just seeking to make a bigger impact on the game. He threw a touchdown pass, didn't throw an interception. I think he just wants to jump those numbers up in terms of flinging it around and letting his receivers get into the end zone.
Now let's go. Green, 39. Green.
They'll start out here with the option left. That play going for 16 yards to start the drive. 1st down.
Pretty nice play here. They go read option, read the defensive end, and when he collapsed down inside, how about the quarterback pulling it, keeping it, and not only getting to the 2nd level, but picking up some really nice yardage.
Very, very well read. One play has him to the 37 here for 1st and 10.
Hurry up, here we go.
They go play action here on 1st down. He's got it complete to Stephon Diggs. And he is taken down deep in Philadelphia territory. It's a big one there for the Vikings. 46 yards.
Similar to a slant, it's all about timing when you're throwing a crossing route. Quarterback and receiver have to be in sync, and when they put it on them just right and catch it full speed, running through a defense can often result in a big pickup of yardage.
So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on 1st down.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue, 90.
From the red zone now, here's Jackson on 1st down. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. But a Viking was able to corral this one, and Minnesota will keep possession.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Now they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21.
4 down. Now let's go. Blue, 90.
The first carry now for Dalvin Cook. Down to the 25. The Pro Bowler Fletcher Cox there to get him down. And the big boys up front in the trenches. What do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
Here we go now. Green, 39. Green, 30.
Here's Jackson on 3rd and long. A bullet throw, but incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. Daniel Carlson now for the Viking field goal. Right hash mark, a 42-yard attempt. Carlson able to put this one through. And the Vikings have a 3-0 lead. So a pretty good opening drive. That'll make the home fans somewhat happy. They wanted 6, but they got 3 in the early lead.
And they should be happy. The guys look good getting down the field. That's got to give them a little bit of hope that good things are in store here today for them.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win 1st down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on 1st down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating 1st downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. They may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a 1st down.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. And an alley to run. And he'll return this one just shy of midfield to the 49.
Well, if you go by the numbers, you'll find as the temperature goes down, so does the passing efficiency. And now that we're in December, even the routine throws are going to be harder for the quarterbacks. And this one it winds up getting picked off.
The Vikings offense making their way back out. Now let's give you a look at the playoff picture coming into the weekend in the NFC. Well, what do you think? You get the ball off the turnover near the middle of the field. You take a shot here in the first play?
You know I'm big on that. I love when I have great field position. After a turnover, I feel like I might have them a little bit off balance. I prefer to take a shot, but a lot of coaches will tell you only do it if you trust the guy who's got the football in his hands. Meaning, if it's not there, he won't force it downfield and maybe turn into an interception. He'll go to the check down, go to a second option, and go ahead and take the play that's in front of him.
For the Eagles, a look now at the starters on the defensive side of the ball. Coming into this one, ranked number 19 in the NFL against the pass.
And I think you're going to see some changes in the offseason, whether it's through the draft, free agency, maybe even both. They definitely need some help in the secondary.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
Jackson going to throw again. And he's going to be swallowed up. Sacked back at the 45-yard line. Derek Barnett in there to get him. And that's sack number 6 for him on the year. Well, it was 2nd long. Now it's 3rd and even longer. They're going in the wrong direction here.
Because they're moving them exactly the way they want to, but you're exactly right. Definitely going in the wrong direction for the offensive guys.
And the Eagles will go with an extra DB here as they prepare for a stop on 3rd.
Thinking pass all the way.
All right, here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
From the gun, it's Jackson. Going deep for Diggs. So they took a shot there on 3rd down, couldn't get it. Now it's 4th.
Well, he bounced up after taking a sack and took a shot downfield. I think a lot of us thought maybe he'd run draw in that situation. Instead, tried to get it all back in one play.
Yeah, 3rd and long, thought he needed the deep pass, couldn't connect it.
Maybe he was hoping for a penalty downfield to give him the yardage they needed.
So on 4th down, here's Ryan Quigley now to kick this one away. He punted 4 times in the loss last week as he gets this one away here. And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
He's going to launch this thing way down. He's got a man complete. Wentz finding his favorite receiver, Jeffrey, on a big one. 41 yards.
Now, that play will end up on the highlights, and you'll see it all over the place. But what you won't see, the offensive line that bought the extra time, that allowed for the big completion downfield. Those guys made that play possible.
And he's going to get this inside the 30. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. This defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
Throwing on first is Wentz. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards. Just the first quarter, but tackling going to be so important going forward. They've got to limit plays like that.
And that's something when you see it happen early in the game and they don't get him on the ground, you can always tell that they were concerned about it going in. Because I can just tell you from my days, I remember being in college and worrying all off-season about our season open opponent, and they had a receiver that could shake and bake with the best of them. I tackled him on the first pass of the game, and the relief was incredible. Ended up having a pretty decent ball game. But if I had missed him...
and that's going to be caught for an Eagles touchdown. Dallas Goedert, his first touchdown on the year. And the Eagles have taken the early lead.
That's almost just not right. You cover everybody, but those tight ends, they can be awfully reliable.
Very reliable. The defense just has to hate those guys.
Just drives them crazy because oftentimes you can't match up with them. They have you either with size, speed, or maybe even just strength.
Janikowski good with the extra point, and that makes it a 7-3 lead. A drive there of just 4 plays. The result, Philadelphia in the end zone. Out to kick is Janikowski. Jamal Agnew now to return it. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. And now we move our focus to Stephon Diggs. Well, he's within shouting distance of a 1,000-yard season. Going to need a pretty good finish, though, if he wants to reach that mark.
Well, I like how you phrased it, partner. He is within shouting distance. If he stays on this pace, he's got a shot at it. But he needs a big game in there, right, to make sure that he gets it. So you know that during the week, in practice, and look, he asks for the ball all the time anyway. He's really going to ask for the ball and let his quarterback know he's open.
That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Now let's go. Green.
On 2nd down, here's Jackson. And that is incomplete.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19.
Jackson from the shotgun. Got a man, it's complete. Williams. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. His first catch, good for 16 and a first.
Here we go. Boom!
First down, here's the run with Cook. And across the midfield stripe into Eagle territory. There are the numbers for Cook from a week ago. 13 carries, 77 yards.
After the last game, they had plenty of reason to be confident in their running game. And even though they're facing a top 10 defense, they're not going to shy away from doing what they do best. Make them adjust to them. Make them stop what they do before they go to any type of a change-up.
Green, 39.
Play action. It's Jackson. He's going to wind up and air it out. And they went for a big play through the air on 2nd down. Couldn't connect. Now it's 3rd.
A lot of contact there, but there was no way it appeared that he was going to get a flag on that one. Looking for it, but he wasn't going to get it. And as an ex-defensive back, you love it when they let you play and jostle downfield.
They tried to throw on 2nd down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1. They'll run it. Here's Cook. And he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. A gain of 4 that time as the drive continues.
Well, that was big right there because they're the bottom 5 in the league in converting on 3rd down. They needed that pickup in a big way.
There were 2 things they said they wanted to win in this game. One, the turnover battle, and the second, 3rd down conversions. So they got one there. They run again on first down. Cook. And, a little spin cycle. Room to run now. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. A big play there. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Vikings are able to strike for 6. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
Now for the extra point, Daniel Carlson. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the lead is now 10-7. So that drives 7 plays in length. And it's capped off by the touchdown run coming from Dalvin Cook. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
They'll start out on the ground with Ajayi. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
Here's Ajayi. Nifty move.
Wrap up.
Still moving. And all the way down to the 22-yard line. A big play there from Ajayi. 45 yards on the ground. And you hear it all the time, but that's one of the dangers of the blitz. You get past that first wave, nobody else is there.
And when teams blitz, what they're trying to do is make you lose your poise, lose your timing and your tempo. But when you hold it together, you can really hurt them the other way, getting past that first wave.
So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's got 4 down inside the 20 to the 18. And a look at the Vikings defensive unit.
Named an All-Pro for the first time in 2017, cornerback Xavier Rhodes relishes the challenge of guarding the game's top wide receivers. He'll trail them anywhere, even into the opposing backfield, to make big-time plays.
Now they'll throw it. Wentz. And a quick throw here, that's complete. No gain that time on the completion, and it'll be 3rd down. Now the old pass completion for no gain, not something you want to call up out of the playbook too often.
Yeah, most offensive coordinators don't have that on their play sheet, so they got to go back and scramble after this one. But right now, with what they're telling receivers about making sure you take care of the ball in open field, sometimes the fighting for extra yardage doesn't come as a result. That and good tackling could lead to no yards gained.
Well, they've had a great, impressive drive going here, and that pickup ensures the drive continues.
And not only do you continue the drive, which is demoralizing for the guys on the defensive side of the ball right now, but you make your own defense happy. They're able to get a little more rest over on the sidelines while this one continues downfield.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. Everson Griffin in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year.
And on 1st and goal, they decided to throw for it, but the coverage was excellent. And he kept holding the ball, hoping someone would shake free. Instead, he's hit and dropped. And now, they're not even in the red zone anymore.
first down, a bit of a disaster, and now on 2nd and goal, back even further. He'll get it up the middle. Ajayi escapes him, and he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Jay Ajayi, his 9th touchdown of the season, and the Eagles are able to cash it in for 6.
Well, partner, that was another explosive run, and one thing I've learned in our time in this game, yes, the offensive line has to get a lot of credit, but for big runs to occur, the wide receivers have to block well downfield.
And then you have to have a good guy carrying the ball too, right?
Oh, without a doubt. You need that difference maker lugging the rock.
Janikowski on for the extra point. Janikowski adds the extra point, and the lead is now 14-10. So this drive spans 7 plays, and it's capped off by a touchdown run by Jay Ajayi. Out to kick is Janikowski. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
All right, here we go. Boom, landed.
Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. So 1 quarter in the books on a cold December afternoon. It's a close game here early on. We're back to Minneapolis in just a moment. Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. 2nd quarter begins with the Vikings holding the football. But they face a 2nd and long to start things out. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12.
Here we go now. Boom, landed. Boom, landed.
Now Jackson on 2nd down. He's going to go for a big play downfield. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up 3rd.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete.
Set. Green, 39.
On 3rd down, Jackson. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. So they escape, so to speak, maintaining the football. Defensively, though, opportunity miss.
It definitely was, because that's all defenses talk about. Getting the football and either advancing it the other way or just getting possession and turning it over to their offense. That can be a little bit... a lost opportunity.
Here's Ryan Quigley now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. 51 yards on the punt there. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. Jay Ajayi works his way back onto the field. So officially now a 1,000-yard campaign for him, but I don't think he's going to take his foot off the gas pedal.
Yeah, it's one of those thoughts, though, that creeps into your mind, because there is a little mini celebration over on the sidelines. Everybody, hey, job well done, over 1,000 already. But guaranteed, as you noted, someone's jumped in that huddle and said, a lot more to be done, guys. Let's not, would you say, take your foot off the pedal? Let's not do that right now. But there is that possibility as people can get self-satisfied. The greats do not. We'll find out what he's made of. They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Working from the gun, Wentz. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. From the gun, it's Wentz. And this time he's got the hookup. It's complete. And he's got the 1st down yardage as he takes it down to the 49. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to be stopped up at about the 47-yard line. The tackle made there by Harrison Smith.
And that last carry puts him right at 100 yards for the game. So how has he done it? Because he's been patient, followed his blocks, let everything develop, and then burst through for big gains.
Start offense.
And maybe they were coming with a blitz that time, and it caused a jump.
I think if we saw it, you know that they saw it. Might have been a little discussion down there. Bad guys coming. Pick them up. Pick them up. And someone jumped.
Now Wentz on 3rd down. They dump off underneath to Ajayi. And he's going to get forward for about 5, but that may be coming back. What say you, Mr. Referee?
Holding offense.
So instead of giving them another 3rd down, they'll decline it, brings up 4.
Now that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
And you see Dalvin Cook in the offense heading back out. And he's sure looking like a lock for a 1,000-yard season. Don't know if he's going to get it in this game, but he'd probably like to just to get past that point.
Yeah, and if he doesn't, as you noted, there's still time, still opportunity. There's still more games to be played. So, yeah, it's not a lot. But barring injury, it certainly looks like he's going to get there. And what an accomplishment that is. Anytime you get over 1,000 yards, you're celebrated in the NFL.
It's been quite a season. Still a couple chapters left in that book, though. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
Green, 39. Green.
On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Mike Bennett in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been under constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. That burst good for 20 and a 1st down. We've seen him break off a big run already in this game, and for a second, that one looked like it might be another.
Yeah, I think that any defense would say, look, we can't let him get to the 2nd level because sometimes he'll break off the big run on his own, but oftentimes you get additional blocking at the 2nd level, which gets you deeper into the secondary.
Green, 39.
They'll look to throw here on 1st down. He's going to fire one deep. Man, it's caught at the 6-yard line. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. And that one results in 35 yards.
We just saw him hit a big play there on a deep post. And most of the time, the post isn't available because usually you have defenders in the middle of the field. But if you throw enough curls and crossing routes and underneath routes, I know from experience, they get tired of watching those balls get caught. They start to creep up a little bit, and that's when you can hit them big over the top.
Here we go now. 319. 319.
Now back to throw. And that is incomplete here.
All defenders get tired of hearing about their lack of hands and why they're playing defense instead of offense. But in this situation, it was the hands that made the play. Batting the ball away on an attempted touchdown pass. Excellent job. Way to knock it down.
On 2nd and goal, Cook waiting in the backfield all alone.
Now let's go. 3-19.
They'll run for it with Cook. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down.
Now that was a terrific play. We're down here near the goal line, and only one word comes to mind for me, and that's overwhelmed. Because they absolutely overwhelmed the offensive line. He came free and made the hit in the backfield.
They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and goal.
Set. 3-19.
He'll look to throw. He's got his man. It's taken in for a Viking touchdown. Michael Gallup with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Vikings are able to strike for 6. Well, that's about as quick of a passing touchdown as you'll ever see right there.
Everyone has a section in their playbook called the quick game. That was a super quick game. Out of the hands of the thrower, bam, right to the receiver, successfully for a touchdown.
How in-depth is that quick game part of the playbook?
It's pretty in-depth because people want the ball in the hands of the quarterback into the playmaker's hands downfield as fast as possible. There are a lot of plays, a lot of options involved with that.
Carlson on for the PAT. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And it's now 17-14. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. A chance for us now to discuss Jay Ajayi. Now, Charles, you can't really fault him. He's over 100 yards already. He's not the reason they're losing.
And that is really unusual because ordinarily when you've set the tone this way and have run it this effectively, usually your team's in control. So it's a very strange situation. And you're right, you can't fault him. He's done a great job for his team thus far.
I'm guessing he's under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Now Wentz. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And they'll bring him down here right around the 17-yard line. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation. How about the corner defeating that logic and making a really nice tackle?
The Eagles on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 16. Shotgun now for Wentz. And almost picked off. I guess the good news for them now, it's 4th down. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. A big kick there. We'll call it 56 yards on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. And you see Dalvin Cook and the offense heading back out. And he's closing in on that number that all running backs circled beginning of the year, the number 1,000. Could do it on this drive.
And you have to think to yourself that this moment, getting to this spot, it started in the offseason, right? Not just the workouts, right? Not just getting yourself physically prepared to play, but mentally, as well as your team, as well as your unit, head coach, offensive coordinator. We run the football. We give you opportunities. He's taking advantage of it.
And when you get this close to the mark, you just hope things don't tighten up, right? You probably want to get there and get it in your rearview mirror.
You really do, don't you? Because now it becomes predominant, and you wonder about play calling as well. Do you want to call plays to get that out of the way, or are you still calling plays to win the game first? That becomes the burden of the play caller.
A boost here to start the drive. After the penalty, it's 1st and 5. They'll drop the throw. And incomplete on the deep ball. Well, he's been the guy. Already over 100 yards here in the first half. Could have had a lot more if he would have been able to haul that one in.
Yeah, in fact, our statistician Marvin was already handing me a piece of paper with that yardage totaled on it. He thought that catch was going to happen just as you and I did as well.
And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. At 5 yards on the play there, the drive will continue.
Well, that was a unit that understood exactly where the first down marker was, handed it to their guy who could run it, created some space, and he got there.
Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes. Michael Bannon in there to get him for sack number 9 now on the year. Well, they go play fake. The problem is nobody was faked out.
And when no one's faked out, what's the end result?
Sack.
Quarterback gets hit.
They come up on 2nd and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon.
Here we go now. 3-19.
A 10th carry in the game for Cook. And he's across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 43. 9 yards on the pickup that time, so he got more than half of it back, but it's still a 3rd and 8.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Set. Green 39. Green 39.
He'll look to throw. He's got his man. It's Williams. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains. Clock running, under 4 to play now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Set. Blue 90.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. He's got the connection over the middle to Diggs. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. 11 more on that one and another first down. So in the second quarter, he's already up over 100 yards receiving now.
And isn't 100 the magic number for a really good game for a receiver? So he got a chance to really shatter that and have a profound effect on this game.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
All right, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Back to the ground, Cook. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. You'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
Coming up to the line, and they will need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning.
Set. Blue 90.
On 2nd down, Cook. And he's going to take this one down to about the 23-yard line. It's a pickup of 3, and we have now arrived at the 2-minute warning. So 2 minutes to go in a wild first half. More from Minneapolis after this. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. The Vikings on 3rd down. They've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. This time they face a 3rd and 2.
3-19.
They're going to look to throw. intercepted. Had a great shot at picking that off in the end zone. And now 4th down. They're going for a receiver there. Already has 1 touchdown in this first half. A second one not to be.
I like where their headspace is, though. I mean, I really like the thought process, right? You got a guy who's already scored one, right? You want to go back to him, continue the hot hand, and make them adjust to you defensively. I like what they were trying to get done, even though they weren't successful.
And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Carson Wentz and the Eagles make their way out to the field. He's had a solid start to this game, but bottom line is they're losing, so he doesn't care about his stats. He just wants to right the ship on the scoreboard.
He wants to actually increase his stats because he feels like if he does, that means things will get better for his team, maybe get him back into the ball game or into the lead. In these situations, I remember playing with a quarterback once where he actually ran out onto the field first ahead of everyone else just to say, guys, let's go. Try and create that energy, create that spark.
Well, so far he has 1 touchdown, 1 interception. He'll be looking for that second touchdown now.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
And this is Ertz with it, right side. 70th catch for him on the year, and like so many others, this goes for a first down. On first down, Wentz. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete. So he can't hang on, and as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Well, you know a coach said that, right? Yeah. Not an actual player. No chance at all. Way easier said than done.
Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's 3rd down. The Eagles hustling to the line, clock rolling. Wentz. And Jeffrey's got it. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. An Eagle first down. Wentz hooking up with Jeffrey. They go play action here on first down. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first. Well, not to get too overcritical there because he knows what he's doing, but his shoulders looked a little off-kilter there when he threw that.
I don't think you're being overly critical there. You're just analyzing it, and he gets those shoulders right. That pass will go from incomplete to complete.
So a challenge coming down from the booth, and that's where these challenges come from, of course, in the final 2 minutes of the half.
Yeah, now we're going to New York, right? That's command central for the officials. They'll talk, they'll take a look at it, communicate with the referee at the game site, and issue a final decision because they do have the final call now. This challenge was initiated by the guys in New York. Taking a look at the play, less than 2 minutes to go.
Yeah, I'm sure the coach wanted to challenge it, so he's probably going to send the New York office a holiday card. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. The Eagles on 3rd down. They've hit 4 of 7. This will be 3rd and 6. Again, it's Wentz. Drops it off to Ajayi. It'll be a gain of 4, and that's going to make it 4th down.
Well, it looks like they got what they wanted. They got the completion, but they weren't able to break any tackles or gain nearly enough yardage to pick up the first down. Now to be 4th and short.
Now Janikowski for the field goal try. From the left hash, it's an even 50-yard attempt. And this is good. He got just enough to clear the crossbar as he drops it in from long distance. And that cuts the lead down to just 3, 20-17. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now, seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs. All-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
Here's Stephon Diggs as he and the rest of the offense get ready to go again. Making his presence felt early in this one. First half, already over the century mark.
How about the yards per completion, too? That's a pretty darn good number there. Number of catches, but he's shredding defenses, getting big yardage with each and every one of them.
A little under 30 seconds to go. We'll see how they play it here on 1st and 10.
Here we go now.
Here's the first carry for Bo Scarborough. And he stopped immediately there. Tackle made there by Jordan Hicks.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
So we've reached halftime here in Minnesota with the Vikings on top. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, we'll get back to you and Charles in a bit. But first, let's get to some of these scores around the NFL here in a busy Week 14. We'll get things started up at Ford Field in Detroit. And that one closing in on halftime with the Cowboys out on top. The Cowboys trying to hold on and claim victory. From Motown, let's head across Lake Erie to Buffalo. See what's going on with the Bills. And they currently trail in that game against the visiting Patriots. 2 touchdown passes for Kirk Cousins there. Finally, we finish at MetLife Stadium to see what's going on with the Jets. And that game is tied as they take on the visiting Tennessee Titans. Meanwhile, in our game, no shortage of offense as each team been able to move the ball effectively. Will the defenses show up in the second half? To find out, we give it back to our commentators, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Thank you, sir. A field goal separates these two teams as we come back for this second half. It's been a shootout so far. We'll see which defense can make the adjustments as we get back underway in the second half. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. A first update now from Cincinnati. And the 49ers are out to the early lead. That'll be a game to monitor as we go along. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the third. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had ability to...
Blitz coming, and down he goes. Jordan Hicks in there to record another sack, their 6th of the afternoon.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down.
Hurry up, here we go. 3.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Gets this to the 24 for a gain of 4.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
The Vikings on third down. They've hit 4 of 7. This is 3rd and 14.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19.
They'll look to throw here. Hard throw, incomplete.
Had the right idea there, trying to throw it to the sideline, but he led him just a little bit too much, trying to get it out to his receiver. Ends up falling to the ground, incomplete.
Fielded at the 20. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. So here are the Eagles now as they get set for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance really to set the tone here in quarter 3.
They can really take charge, can't they? And this is probably how it was drawn up at the half. I think we can go inside the locker room, all right? And I think we would see up on the grease boards, stop them defensively, get the ball back for the offense, and let's go downfield and score. Seems simple, right? The last part, we have to find out if that's going to happen. But the first part worked to perfection. Did exactly what they wanted, and now their offense has to pay it off.
See if they can get the latter 50%. Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. Anthony Barr in on the tackle.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on 1st down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on 2nd.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in the expected passing situation.
Now a play fake. Wentz. Going down the middle, and it's complete. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. A good pickup there, a 22. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height. Sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there if he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback who has to slide and find open space to throw.
They run with Ajayi. And he'll be brought down right at midfield after a gain of only a couple.
He's definitely tough to get down. We just saw it right there. But how about what we did see? Pursuit, wrap up, and then the big finish with the tackle.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Ajayi. Breaks the tackle. He's got room to run. Ajayi's going to go. And he just falls short down at the 1-yard line. A big play there from Ajayi. 49 yards. So close. Couldn't get all the way in. Knocking on the doorstep down the 1. Nevertheless, fantastic run.
Not only that, this is where you wave to your replacement. Go back to the bench. No way. I'm not coming out of this game. I got it down to the 1-yard line. I want to carry it in.
We'll see if they reward him on this next play. After the big play, a chance to finish now on 1st and goal. They'll try to run with Ajayi. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Calling a loss of 2 on the play. And it'll be 2nd and goal.
That's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Back at the 2 now. Here's 2nd and goal. Wentz now to throw. Over the middle, and it's incomplete. Alshon Jeffrey, the intended receiver. And it's 3rd and short.
They may be snapping the ball near the goal line, but all you're thinking defensively, keep them out of the end zone. Force the incompletion, force them into going for 3, and not giving up 6.
Can this Vikings D hold up one more time? 3rd and goal. They'll toss it to Ajayi. And he's in for an Eagles touchdown. Ajayi, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Eagles are able to cash it in for 6.
But they decided to run it in and got it done on 3rd and goal. A lot of times that's a passing play.
And the kicker just has to come out for the PAT. He can breathe a sigh of relief as well, right?
Although I don't know if he's really breathing a sigh of relief. I think he likes to put 3 points on his ledger.
Janikowski good with the extra point. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So that one, an 8-play drive. It spans 75 yards. And it's capped off by a touchdown run by Ajayi. Out to kick is Janikowski. Now Jones. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. Now the Vikings offense works their way back onto the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. They run, Cook, and it work his way across the 30 to the 32. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
Again, it's Cook. And he'll be brought down right around the 37.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down. Keep the sticks moving.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Here we go now. 3-19.
Another tote for the workhorse this afternoon. It's Cook. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
I know anytime you watch a team run the ball really well, there's some pinball effect, people bouncing off of each other. There's also some things of beauty in there. And you see these nice, explosive, strong runs. And this guy, he knows how to carry the football really well and continually wants the football. Why? He knows his offensive line's going to give him great effort, and he gives great effort himself to finish off runs.
Now let's go. 3-19.
Now a play fake here on first down. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Stephon Diggs, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Vikings are able to strike for 6. Well, you know he can be explosive, and he's ultra-explosive there on the fly route.
And you know how many times we've talked to coaches, and we've had quoted back to us, well, you know something? When you execute really well, it doesn't matter if they know it's coming or not. Well, sometimes athleticism beats you as well. He just took off and went. That's almost like one of your Turkey Bowl games, isn't it? Just go long, man. I'll hit you. And it worked really well for them.
Carlson now to add the extra point. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that gives them a 3-point lead. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Jay Ajayi works his way back onto the field. And you see the last drive, great chunk of yardage, the touchdown on 5 carries. And offensively, everything just looked in sync, didn't it?
It did, and the reason that it was in sync is because it's a combination of play calling, game plan, offensive line marrying up with all of their blocks. But don't forget the receivers out on the perimeter. Any type of a long run, the receivers have had a hand in that because they've occupied people downfield. And, of course, give the big credit to the man with the football. Great vision, good movement, gets to the end zone.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. Give them 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn them a fresh set of downs.
Really good, skillful, tough running throughout this contest. Picked up first down after first down. He's got to have a nickname, doesn't he? How about the human first down machine? I think that fits.
So after the run by Jay Ajayi, here's 1st and 10. Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And he'll only get a yard, maybe 2, up to the 46.
Well, he's looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple of yards out of it because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
This is Ajayi. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains.
They're making it look easy out there. Another first down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 first downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success. You can just kind of sense the momentum turning here. It's 1st and 10. Wentz now on first down. The connection here with Nelson Aguilar. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is it not? With his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play. But what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angles to throw the ball through. He just throws right over the top of it because he can see everything, and sometimes that saves time and gets the ball to a receiver quicker.
And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. No gain on the play there, 2nd down.
But he was stopped on that play, but he's had plenty of carries all afternoon. Every now and then the defense is going to win one, but I don't think they'll shy away from handing it to him the rest of the game.
They run again with Ajayi. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
The Eagles on 3rd down. They're hitting at 60%, 6 out of 10 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. To throw, it's Wentz. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. So out comes the field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. He hit his first. Now this from 43. And Janikowski bangs it through. And that's going to tie the ball game at 27-all. So the scoring drive encompasses 9 plays, and the net result, 3 points.
Take your disappointment and put it aside. 9 plays. Yeah, they want to end up in the end zone with a touchdown. I get that. But sometimes those 9-play drives pay dividends later with another 9-play drive that culminates in a touchdown when they wear down a defense.
To return, here's Agnew. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. And now we move our focus to Stephon Diggs. Seems like the measuring stick for a receiver for a great game is 100 yards. Well, he's well past that now.
And as we analyze how he's getting them, that's where it really becomes fun because, let's face it, they keep sending coverage at him, keep trying to put the pressure on, yet he finds ways downfield and finds openings. That's a really crafty receiver.
His throw incomplete.
When you see passes knocked down by those guys I call the frustrated fullbacks, the linebackers, you know that in their zone coverage, they were able to drop, see the ball thrown, and react to it very quickly.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29.
Here we go now. Blue, landed.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he works his way forward for a couple up past the 30.
What an advantage having an elite guy in the middle of the defensive line, because not only does he take up the space and let the linebackers run free, but he can also make plays himself, as we just saw there.
The Vikings on third down. They're at 50%, 4 for 8. This is 3rd and 8. They'll set up a throw, and he can't quite pick it. No interception so far. That probably should have been their first, but at least it's 4th down.
Partner, the way this offense has marched up and down the field during this game, it's almost a surprise to see an incomplete pass on 3rd down, isn't it?
Yeah, they have had their foot on the gas all game long, but here finally stalling out. And no one there to stop it. Hits at the 8, but it carries all the way into the end zone for a touchback. Carson Wentz, along with his offense, heading back out there for their next possession. How do you think he personally is evaluating his game so far? He was pretty good in the first half, been good so far here in the 3rd quarter. He's got to like it, right?
Not looking for the dramatics here. Not trying to set the world on fire in terms of stats. It's almost like you're driving. Hands at 10 and 2, alert for anything out there, watching for trouble on the road, and making sure you get the team home.
The bus driver. See if he can drive the bus here again on this drive.
Let's face it, perfection is something we all chase, whether it's playing this game or whatever we do. Hard to attain, but that's what they were searching for as that pass goes incomplete.
Again from the 20 after the incompletion. Here's 2nd and 10. And they'll go with the ground attack here. And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call.
Holding. Offense.
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. From the gun, it's Wentz. And they'll get him down here at the 23. He'll wind up getting 11 on that one. And that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
And he's the epitome of what we call the move tight end. A guy that you can line up anywhere. In the slot, out wide, in tight. Doesn't really matter because he has such great skills. You want to utilize him in all aspects of your passing offense.
And there he was in the slot for the catch. Aguilar has it. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. They give him 12 yards and a 1st down.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. To throw is Wentz. Jeffrey reels it in over the middle. And it's a fumble, but I believe it was covered by an Eagle. It was, and Philadelphia is going to hold on to the football. And the defense not able to get it. From a defensive perspective, what's that moment like when you realize the ball is loose?
It is a moment where all concentration goes right to the football. This is something you've talked about in all your preparation for the game. You probably talked about since training camp. Knock the ball free, take it away from the other team, and now you have that chance. There's a little bit of deflation when they end up recovering it.
They knocked it free, but couldn't take it away. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another 1st down.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there, freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
But that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short game. And
that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. All even as we get ready to start the fourth. Wins to throw on second down. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down.
Well, they were unable to make anything really big out of that, but it's not a bad idea to find your tight end and give him an easy.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. Everson Griffin in there to get him, and that's sack number 12 for him on the year. And they weren't in zone coverage, they were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
So the drive here ends with a field goal. It does give them the lead, but this one's still certainly a long ways from over.
It definitely puts a lot of pressure on your defense to hold the lead, right? They're happy to have it and happy to be out there trying to do so. But I know as a former player, in the back of their mind, they're thinking, why don't you score the touchdown and seal this thing?
The Vikings offense making their way back out. Now let's give you a look at the playoff picture coming into the weekend in the NFC. And I tell you, 4 weeks still to go, and everything is wide open, and it's fun.
And I know we always talk about, well, if the playoffs were to begin today, and then we kind of go, okay, but they're not. Let's see how it plays out. Wouldn't it be fun to play with this playoff lineup right now? Because to me, just about anyone can win this whole thing out of this grouping we currently have. And by the time we get there, it may look entirely different.
That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be second down.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though, huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. Hey, it kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off.
Incomplete, almost intercepted. They haven't picked him off yet. Would have been a great time for the first, but instead it's third down. They got the win last week despite not having any interceptions. Tried to come up with one there, could not. But there's a stat category called PBU, pass breakup. That's important too, and they got one.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it because at least you're there, knocking the ball away. Offense isn't possessing it, making plays downfield. And you just continue to harass the receivers, harass the quarterback, and maybe the big play does occur down the road.
Now on third and long, they'll look to throw. And that will be incomplete as well.
Brandon, it looked like he had his hands on it for a moment, but let's face it, that was going to be a tough catch all the way because of the presence of the defense right there as he was trying to haul it in.
Yeah, nice job to force the incompletion. Here's Ryan Quigley now. He's been terrific so far. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted, and we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
All right, that one fell incomplete there, but the best quarterbacks, They'll miss on 40% of their throws, somewhere in that neighborhood, similar to a great hitter in baseball who's going to fail 7 out of 10 times and still have a great year. In this case, you want perfection, but way better that it hits the ground instead going to an opposite color jersey.
Now flags come in here. Look like one of the Eagles might have moved.
Offense.
The crowd's not doing that O-line any favors.
Home field advantage is really kicking in, making it very difficult for them to hear the snap count.
On 3rd and long, it's Wentz. This complete left side to Aguilar. Call it a gain of 5, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
I hate to surrender the football when you're nursing a slim lead, but they're going to have to punt it away. Trust that defense.
It's the right play at this stage of the game as well. You don't need to press it here because you do have that little bit of a cushion, and you count on your D to make it stand up.
Here's Pat O'Donnell now as he's on to punt for Philip. Oh, they come after him, and it's blocked. It's picked up. Remember, the ball is live. Well, there you go. That's what the doctor ordered. You're down here in the 4th quarter by 3. You block the punt, you're already in field goal range.
Didn't even write a prescription for that one, right? Not at all. You're exactly right, though. Big-time play. And now, if I'm them, I'm thinking bigger. You're already in field goal range. I'm thinking 6. Don't worry about trying to get 3. Really seize the momentum.
Now the Vikings offense gets set to take over here. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
It'll be a gain of 10 to start the drive out, and by a few inches, that'll be a 1st down.
Another carry for their leader, and a good one. It's crunch time. They'll need him to continue to be productive in both the run and passing game in order for them to try and snatch a victory.
Only way to get the lead here, of course, with a touchdown, and that's what they're gunning for on 1st and goal.
All right, here we go. Green.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Under pressure now, and he's going to go down. Sack back around the 8. Fletcher Cox in there to get him for sack number 9 now on the year.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
It's 2nd and goal, back to the 8-yard line now.
Now let's go. Blue line it.
They'll give it to him up the middle, and they'll get him down here at about the 5-yard line. Call it a gain of 2 as they're knocking on the door now. 3rd and goal.
Go, 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 run. Now let's go. Blue line it.
Back to throw here. It's a 4-yard pickup, and that will bring up an interesting decision here on 4th and goal. So here we go. Maybe the biggest kick of the game forthcoming. From the left hash, he'll have to cut this at a tight angle. The kick by Carlson is good. And in the 4th quarter, this game is tied. Well, you talk about clutch. That one was right down Broadway, and this game's all even here in the 4th.
Yeah, he didn't leave any doubt, did he? Good snap, good hold, dead center. Almost like a big-time golfer in a major, firing at a pin from the fairway, trying to win the tournament going down the stretch.
This fielded at the 2. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. Here comes Eagle offense now as they get set to take over here. Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. On 1st and 10, here's Wentz. Ertz over the middle. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
It is hard in zone coverage to stop a curl route because when they see it, they just try and find the open spot and sit down.
Yeah, we always talk about finding the soft spot in the zone. What's the key to doing that? How do you do it?
You have to read what the coverage is. Is it 2 deep? Is it 3 deep? Because then you know where the linebackers are going to drop, what spots on the field they naturally get to, and you find that open space, and then you're in sync with your quarterback. He should be reading the exact same thing, and they put the ball right on you.
Now Wentz on the bootleg. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Sheldon Richardson coming up the middle, gets him there for a loss of about 9.
You know, on these types of plays, we're always looking to assess blame. Okay, where did it break down? Sometimes it's just a great play.
Eagles coming up here on a 3rd and long, so Wentz and company with some work to do after the sack. Play action. Now Wentz. A loss of 8 on the play, and it brings up 4th. Here's Pat O'Donnell now. Remember, though, he did have one blocked earlier. That's taken on the 25. Now a hit and a loose football. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line.
I don't know why, but it's always agonizing to me to see a guy make a mistake in this phase of the game because you can it's all on him. All eyes there. He's got a chance to make a punt return, and instead he ends up putting it on the carpet.
Puts it on the carpet. The little rubber pellets shoot up. Never a good sign for a returner on this field turf surface.
No, not at all. And a bunch of them go up when they're all trying to get to the football, don't they?
And this is one of those bang-bang plays, Charles. Did the knee hit first or did the ball come out first?
This is where you need that 20/20 eyesight, don't you, Brandon? You've got to see which one happened first. If the knee hit the ground, then they will keep possession.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Hurry up, here we go. 3:19.
The drive will start with an option going left. And holding it may be the wrong decision as he stopped in the backfield. They'll wind up losing 4 yards on the play. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 14. So the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14.
Set. Blue 90. Blue 90.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
So, Brandon, when this offense gathers together to watch tape for this game, they're going to be feeling pretty good about themselves until the coaches get upset about the play we just saw. But you know their defense is going to be. But we put up big points all game long. The defense is going to win one every now and then.
Blue 90.
They'll set up to throw. Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack. Dante Fowler in there to drop him for a 6-yard loss, and that'll lead to a 4th down. Defensive end gets in there that time. They were in a 4-3. What's the responsibility of the ends versus the tackles there, Charles?
Well, most of the time when you talk about the ends, they're your pass rushers. They're the guys that you turn loose to try and get to the guy who's going to throw the football. The tackles, usually more of the run-stuffing variety. But the way this game is advanced, you're wanting a little bit of everything out of all of your guys. But let's just go ahead and break it down and make it simple. The guy who's the right defensive end versus a right-handed quarterback, that's the blind side. He's going after the quarterback. He's going to put him on the ground.
That's a 49-yard punt, 8, though, on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. A chance for us now to discuss Jay Ajayi. He has a chance to hit that often elusive 200-yard mark on this drive.
And most of the time during a game, people aren't keeping track of individual statistics.
Are you sure?
Well, a lot of the runners kind of know. But I'll guarantee you someone has sent word into the offensive line that he's got a chance to get over 200 on this drive. That should give them a little extra motivation because they love it when backs break that barrier.
Absolutely. We'll see if he can do it. They're throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
I know for us it's fun. And it's not so much fun for the rookie receivers when we see them coming into the league and we're going to training camps. You see them working on getting 2 feet down instead of 1. But the best ones train in college trying to get 2 down instead of 1, so the transition's a little bit less. In this case, though, one never completed anyway.
Completes it to Aguilar. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks. And they'll go on the ground. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
Part of the thinking when you bring in extra tight ends, you're hoping that each of your guys gets those one-on-one blocks and creates a crease for your runner. You know what the converse is, though? You've got to win those one-on-one blocks. And when you don't, that's the result you end up with.
Now Wentz throwing on second down. He finds Aguilar over the middle. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down. Now Wentz on third down. And he connects with Ertz. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. An Eagle first down there, Wentz to Ertz, and the names that end in TZ.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
A couple of first downs have him to the 40 now on 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And a pretty good run there as he gets 7 down to the 33. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll go down at the 28.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. That's almost a tendency breaker.
They go play action here on first down. Jeffrey with a catch left side. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. Alshon Jeffrey with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Eagles have moved out in front. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go. Uh-oh, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
Janikowski adds the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So that drive goes 8 plays, and it was capped off by an Eagles touchdown. Out to kick is Janikowski. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or 2 shy of the 30. And now out comes Minnesota. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes. Mike Bennett in there to sack him, and that is 10 for him now on the year. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue 90.
They're going to look to throw. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down. Back-to-back big plays defensively. First the sack. Now they force the incompletion on 3rd and long. Things looking pretty good for them.
And this is where they have to be careful because they've got the momentum going their way. They will be really amped up to get to the quarterback. Look out. Draw, screen, something that can be used against them.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
They'll look to throw. And nearly intercepted there. That would have been ball game if he had clinched it and caught it. Instead, it gives him one more chance here on 4th down.
So another big shot dodged there defensively. Now they're just one more incompletion away from salting away this victory. And I know this feeling. They're almost giddy, but they have to stay focused and locked in. They can make one big mistake and throw it all the way.
Down 7, and they've got to go for it here on 4th down.
All right, here we go. Green 39. Green.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. He's going to let it fly. And, oh, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked up by Jalen Mills. And his guys are going to take over at the 21-yard line. On 4th down, that turned out like a punt. Maybe he was better defensively there just to knock it down.
And you know they go over those situations. All right, 4th down, where's the ball? Where would we get the ball? But instinct takes over, and when it's in the air, they just go and get it. So it's hard to get on him for intercepting it. But the smart play would have been what you suggested. Knock it down and take over in a deeper position.
Philadelphia getting set to take the field. They have the lead. Still a one-possession game, but the defense got to stop. They've got the football now. Just salted away, right?
Exactly. That's all the defense is counting on from their offense. They did their job in a big way. You know they're over on the sidelines now starting to take their tape off. And, hey, we've done this thing. The offense has to put it away, and that means ball security.
Absolutely. Stranger things have happened. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts. as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. And they'll run it here. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
Hang in there now. Hang in there now.
To throw is Wentz. And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. The Vikings going to use their third and final timeout as they'll get it with just under 90 seconds remaining. They're not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. You'd have to think likely another running play coming here, 2nd and 11. The Eagles in the victory formation as they take a knee. And that knee will do it. So they snap the losing streak. Always a good feeling.
Yeah, I don't know if this one right here when they're taking a knee is as much exultation as exhalation, right? They just breathe a sigh of relief. Finally got a win, needed one desperately.
A lot of scoring. There's no doubt about that in this one, Charles. Points, they were not at a premium. They were pretty easy to come by.
They were, but it was fun, wasn't it? Because both teams finding ways to click. And you know people who love this game, they also love baseball games that are 14-11 with 3 or 4 home runs mixed in.
So for Philadelphia, their very slim playoff hopes remain as they move to 6 and 7 on the year. And they'll get another road date next week as their opponents will be the Washington Redskins. Meanwhile, for the Vikings, it's unfortunately more of the same as they'll fall to 3 and 10 on the year. And they'll try and turn things around next week as they have a date at Soldier Field with the Chicago Bears. That'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our hardworking crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, find us on Twitter at EA Madden NFL. From Minneapolis, so long, everybody.